Cool. Welcome back. This is the second video in this series of what is a video sales letter, or a VSL. So before we get into it, cheers to coffee. All right. Shot of espresso for every take. We'll make sure it goes by quickly. So a VSL is a structured video pitch. And really what it is it moves the viewer from a problem to taking action. So they know the problem. Usually they have to opt in to see a video sales letter, and now you're just trying to do the last bit of convincing to convert them. So in the three C's, capture, convince, convert, it's a convert piece, but there's a little bit of convincing to it. And there's a couple different placements for VSLs, right? We've all went onto a landing page where there's a VSL and then the funnel and they're trying to sell us. That's where VSLs are the most practical and most effective. Now, there are some VSLs that are after they purchase VSLs, which they're not really sales letters then, but it's a lot of like, let me prepare you now that you booked a call. Let me prepare you for what's about to happen next. That way they come into the sales call hotter. But then there's also the VSL that gets them to opt into a sales call. So there's two different sides of it, right? And depending on what you're selling, either one could be more effective, or some companies run both. I just think that's a bit overkill. Like they watch a video to then book a call, then they got to watch another video to then hop on a call. It's a lot of watching a video. People want easiness. That's just my 2 cents about that. So for me, it's like, see which one works best for your audience, whether you drive ads or some kind of call to action to a landing page with a VSL, and from there they book a call or buy, or after they book a call, then they watch a video sales letter to help warm them up for the sales call and close them. See which one works best in your business. But some people send them in emails. Some people put them as like the landing page or the landing video on their YouTube channel. There's different use cases I can dive into for a long time. But there's pretty much 7 core sections of a VSL. So there's a hook. So there's, you kind of announce the pain and the outcome of the pain in the first line. Credibility, so why listen to me? 1 line usually, and then there's like a relevant stat to back you up. Problem is, kind of the stakes of doing nothing. If you do not take action, then you paint a picture of how everything's going to suck without you, essentially. And then your solution in plain words. But you could do a solution, which is usually my service or product is the solution. And this is where you want to make sure you give detail, but you want to not overcomplicate it, and you want to speak in like 5th grade language so they understand completely what you can do and how you're going to do it. Then you show proof of a case study or testimonial. And a number always helps. So like I did this, which got X number result, X dollars, X leads, X whatever else. In the case study, proving, so real person, real business, real numbers. And then offer, you just go right into offer. So now that you saw the problem, what it looks like if you don't fix it, I have the method of solution. Here's the proof that I can solve it. Here's what I'll give you. Here's my offer. I can do it for you. I do this in this amount of time. Or if the offer is a product, it's the product will do this, will help with this in X amount of time. So like the toothpaste, it's like, oh, I'll whiten your teeth in 4 days of brushing your teeth, whatever, right? And then there's a call to action, right? So if they've already booked a call, then there isn't really a call to action. It's just like, cool, see you on the call. But if there is a add to a landing page to then book a call, then the call to action is to like book a call or buy the product. If it's a digital product, you can do it where you can convince them just enough to buy the digital product right there. So just some more tips with the VSL. Length can be variable. I've seen 4-minute VSLs work, and I've seen 14-minute VSLs work. This depends on your product, your service, your offer, how much education is needed, where you're placing it in the funnel, et cetera, et cetera. Iman Gadji had I think it was like a 21-minute VSL that he made like several $1 million off of. So, and that was like info product, right? So pretty low ticket info product, but I forget how many millions he made off of it, but it was like a 21-minute VSL, made millions off of it. It rode in his funnel for a couple of years. And then, so next tip on VSL, this is where you take the production quality up a notch, right? So if they've opted on to go to see a landing page or opted in to purchase something from you and then they watch your VSL before the call, this is where you take the production quality. This is more of an evergreen piece of content. So you should show your professionalism with this VSL. I always like, this guy's like, oh, I've made millions and millions of dollars, blah, 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 blah. And then it looks like he's shooting on an Android from 2015 in his VSL. To me, the credibility is out the window. I'm like, you couldn't even put together a camera. Like, this isn't a complicated setup. I wouldn't shoot a VSL with this setup, but the fact is I got a real camera and even lighting. That enough shows proof that, that like at least I have something together, right? So perception does matter, and perception is reality. So this is where you want to jump it up a notch. Make sure that you shoot in a studio, or hire a professional videographer, or just have something simple that works like this that at least shows that you have your crap together, right? So let's move on. Use slides or motion graphics even in your VSLs. Don't make it like a slideshow Loom video presentation video, but use slides. Use visual references and visual cues to help you sell what you're selling, because people don't want to just sit here and watch for 45 minutes, which there has been 45-minute VSLs actually, but I exaggerated with that. Well, anything popping up on screen. And I say that with a video that doesn't have anything popping up on screen. But you get what I'm saying, right? So, some people are visual learners, and if they can visually learn and understand what you're selling with slides, with motion graphics, something like that, that'd be awesome. You could just do even the simple, something pops up on this part of the screen. So, next thing is, do not speak in a language that makes you sound more professional. People are like, I want to sound smart. No, just sound simple. Sound simple. The more simple you can make it while still getting the information you need to get across, the more people will understand and want to buy from you, okay? And the next thing is, don't make any promises you can't keep. Some people run ads, they run organic content, they have a call to action, they bring them to a VSL, and they overpromise, and then when they close them, they can't deliver, and it's annoying. And it puts a stain on the industry. It makes everyone in the industry look like scammers. Don't do it. Don't overpromise. Seriously, don't be an asshole. It's not hard. And next thing is dress well. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. You don't need to be in a suit and tie. That's a little bit stuffy anyways. But like a simple polo or a nice professional looking dress or anything like that can go a long way. So that's really it. That's my VSL tips. And hopefully this was helpful. Catch you on the next one.